All right, fam, welcome back. I am your life and relationship strategist, your favorite life and relationship strategist, MarshaunO. My mission is to help each and every one of you out there who are in a tough spot and you are thinking about, should I stay, should I go? You guys are arguing all the time. You're just trying to figure out how do you communicate better. If these are some of the things that you are dealing with in your relationship, then I am here to help you out. If you have any questions that you need answered, go ahead and comment below this video and I can help you out. All right. So today, yes, I'm sure that you've seen the title, the serious relationship problems that you should watch out for. Yes, the serious relationship problems that you should watch out for. These are going to be relationship issues that pretty much never go away. You're going to be constantly going through a cycle, up, down, in, and out. You're not feeling good. You're actually, again, wondering, should I stay? Should I go? Why are we constantly arguing? Why is this so toxic? Can I make it better? These are some of the things that you need to watch out for. Today, I'm going to give you 7 things to watch out for. The very first thing is selfishness. Selfishness in the sense that your partner, your spouse is all about themselves. They are self-involved. And guess what? Your feelings, your needs are not being met. Neither do they really care that your feelings or needs are not being met. It's really a sad situation because this person could actually be a pretty good person. They might even put on a show for everybody else to let them know how great of a spouse you are, how great of a partner that you are. But behind closed doors, you can't get this person to do anything that you need them to do for you to feel secure in your relationship, for the relationship to flow well for you as well as for him or for her. So they're very selfish. They're very self-involved. It's all about him. It's all about her. Your needs, your feelings, your needs are never being met and your feelings are never, just don't care about your feelings, because this person is actually, they could be borderline or already are a narcissistic person. They are very, very self-involved. It's all about them. And that is a classic definition of a narcissistic person. So maybe your spouse is very narcissistic, but selfishness, something that you need to watch out for. The next thing is the repeated instances of being blamed, sarcasm, being disrespectful towards you, and being manipulative. Yes, something that you need to watch out for sure in your relationship. And some of these things you're not going to be able to recognize right away. But when you do recognize them, that doesn't mean that you need to walk away if they have 1, maybe even 2. But if they have a high number of this list, then you definitely have some serious issues going on in your relationship. You either need to, number 1, get to the bottom of the issues. Number 2, literally decide if you want to stay or go. Because if you are going through a lot of these things that I'm about to mention, I already mentioned 2. So if you're going through a lot of them, like I said, I'm about to give you 7. So if you have more than 3, then you need to think about literally, should I stay? Should I go? Now, can you turn it around? You partially can turn it around because this relationship thing takes 2 people. And so if you're only one party who's trying to get the relationship together, is never going to work. I told you guys several times that this is my second marriage. The reason why it's my second marriage is because I told you I really didn't know what I was doing. But on top of that, I had a spouse that when I was trying to think about things to make the marriage work, I was the only party that was doing these things. And so if you're in a relationship and you're the only person that's constantly trying to work on your relationship, at some point, if your spouse does not get it together, if your spouse does not jump on board, at some point, your relationship will crumble and fall. That's just it. There is no other way to look at it. There's no way around it. Your relationships takes the 2 people that are actually in it, who wants to fight for the relationship, who wants the relationship to work. So if you're the only person that's in the relationship trying, at some point you're going to get exhausted. At some point you're going to get tired. At some point you're going to be like, what the hell am I doing this for? Why am I still trying? Why am I the only one trying? And that threshold is different for everybody. So what I could take 2, 3, 4, 5 months, maybe even 2, 3, 5 years, depending on the person, might not be what you can take, and vice versa. So that threshold for how long you hold on is different for each person. Now, let me get back to the list. The third thing that you need to think about, okay, I probably got serious issues in my relationship, is repeated conversations, these problems, these issues that never get resolved. Like, think about some of the things that you're constantly talking about over and over and over and over and over again. You're constantly arguing about this same thing. You never tell me where you're going to be. You always change plans. You never keep your word. You're constantly talking about the same thing. You're constantly arguing about the same thing. You're constantly singing the same song. You're constantly having these same feelings each and every time your needs are not being met. Each and every time your feelings are not taken into consideration. So think about, do you have problems specifically that you have talked about multiple times? Like, you at the point where you about to be sick and tired of being sick and tired because you keep having the same conversation. That's a serious issue. Why hasn't that been resolved yet? Number 4, when you being super disrespectful and calling your spouse out of their name, or if they are being super disrespectful and calling you out of your name, that's a problem. That's an issue. That is not normal behavior. As a matter of fact, none of these on here are normal behavior. Can some of us just be stubborn at times and then we do mean stuff to our spouses? That occurs all the time. Yes, it does. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't even make it normal. See, a lot of these toxic things that we go through in our relationship, we look at them as the normal. It's a normal part of a relationship for me to call my man out of his name. It's a normal part of a relationship for him to call me out of my name. No, that's not actually. That's abnormal behavior. It's abnormal for your spouse not to want to be on the same page as you. Is it always going to happen? No. But for the majority, if you think about your relationship, and the majority of your relationship is always you guys bickering, you never argue about anything, the laughter is gone, it's some serious issues in your relationship. And so let me get back to name calling. If you think that the way to get to your spouse and make them angry, pissed off, look at you differently by name calling, you have succeeded, bruh. You have succeeded, sis. And anytime you do any one of these things on the list, your spouse loses that much more respect for you. If you are the spouse that's doing this, your partner is losing respect for you each and every time that you do this to her, each and every time that you do this to him. They're losing respect for you. And you're actually opening up the door for them to walk through it and to be gone forever. Number 5, the breakdown of trust. That's one of the foundation of pillars in your relationship. If you don't have trust, you don't have anything. If you don't have trust, if I can't trust you, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Because the only thing you're doing is bringing me heartache and pain, because I got to think about all the crazy knucklehead stuff that you're doing that I know that I'm not doing out there. I trust me, right? I trust me. But if I can't trust you, we have nothing. Actually, we have nothing. Trust is very big in a relationship, ladies and gentlemen. Trust is something that you have to have in order to feel fulfilled in your relationship, in order to sleep happy at night, in order to not be looking out the window when your spouse is gone, in order to not feel like you have to check your spouse's phone or have access to all of their social media because you got to check up on them like they too. Listen, sis, bruh. If you have to check up on your spouse like that, they should not be your spouse. Yes, I said it. Because if you have to go through that much trouble in order to keep your guy in check, in order to keep your woman in check, that's way too much work. And why do you want to keep working to make sure that your spouse is doing the right thing, when in fact they have a choice to make? Are they choosing to choose your relationship or not? And if they're not actively choosing the relationship, then why are you trying to push them in order to choose you the same way that you need to be chosen? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Number 6, you guys are spending way too much time apart. Now, it's a difference if you have a job or a career that's taking you away from the house. But also, let me just counter with that. It's different if you took the job because you're providing for your family versus you took the job because you want to be sneaky and be able to do what you want to do, live your life outside of the home, but then come back home and have this relationship life as well. So it really depends on why you took that long distance job or that job that's going to keep you away from your family all the time. Or maybe you just are not being fulfilled in a relationship, and so now each and every day you are hanging out with your girls or you're hanging out with your boys. Or maybe you hanging out with your family more than you're hanging out with your spouse. And I get it, there is a balance, but I'm specifically talking about all the time. Like, I'm literally on the phone calling you or texting you all the time. Like, when you coming home? When you coming home? When you coming home? There's something seriously wrong in your relationship if you don't willingly want to go home. If you pull up in that driveway, if you pull up in that doggone garage, close the garage door, and then you sit in your car for 30, 40 minutes, an hour, because you're dreading going into your household. That's a problem. That's a serious issue that you're having in your relationship that you need to address. Or maybe you have addressed it, but you haven't accepted it yet. So maybe now it's time for you to accept what's actually right in front of your face instead of you looking at it the way that you want to see things. It's a serious issue in your relationship if you guys are spending way too much time apart. Number 7. We talk about it all the time, but I had to put it on the list. The lack of communication. Because so many of us are not saying anything, and it's not because we don't know how to say it, we're just scared. But I have to pose this question to you. If you're so scared to really be super open, honest communication with the person that you professed and let everybody around your circle know that you're in love with them and this is the person that you chose, why? Why did you decide to go forth in that relationship? Did you think that you were going to be able to get into the relationship and then still be the same person that you were when you were single? No, it don't work like that. If you're still acting like a single person in a relationship, you're the issue. You're the problem. You're the issue. You're the problem, for sure. There is no way that you can be in a relationship still living like a single person, but you want the relationship. You don't want to have talks about the things that you're actually doing, but you want the relationship. You don't want to include your spouse in your everyday or just your issues that are coming up, but you want the relationship. You don't willingly really want to put in the work to make sure that the relationship is working well, but you want the relationship. You see where I'm getting with that? It don't work. And then we wonder why we have so many breakdowns in our relationship. Because so many of us are super scared to actually have a conversation with our spouse. I talk about it all the time, those difficult conversations. Yes, you need to have those difficult conversations because that is the only way your relationship is going to be able to get on an even keel. In order to get to that blissful, happy relationship, in order to get to that relationship where you see people out, meaning older couples, because I love to see older couples. I love to see them out walking and holding hands and all that stuff. I love that. Can't wait till I get there. So now the question is, where are you at? And how many of these serious relationship issues are popping up and showing up in your own relationship? Do you need to reevaluate your relationship? Is it time to stay and work on things, or is it literally time to go because now you're trying to fight for something that God is clearly trying to close the door on? If you need help, reach out. Send me a message. Let's set something up. I'm here to help you, for sure. I want to decrease this divorce rate because it's way too high. And now there's many people out here that talk about relationships that can actually help out. If I'm not the person that you want to talk to, then talk to somebody to get it together. But somebody that's actually on your side, somebody that actually has proven some things and actually shared some things with you that they can actually help you. I can actually help you. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Deuces.